Hi, my name is Don Derwin. I'm having a problem with my my door lock. It will not lock and unlock, with the electric, door switch. But I did want to say, I took 2 years over at Nicolet Area College here in Rhinelander, in Wisconsin, and I worked on cars. I do a pretty good job. But anyway, I just thought I would, do a little video on I have a 2001 PT Cruiser, and a limited edition, but I don't think that matters. But I figured out why my power door lock was not working. I don't know if somebody can make, and get something out of this video, that would be great. I figured out the problem. But I was looking all over YouTube and, all kinds of things and trying to figure this out myself, and I didn't find any videos that that helped me ever so slightly. But I finally figured out my problem. But I'll try and go through it for you, and maybe I'll read from the book a little about what you should do to check. But at first the thing that I done was I came over and I took out the power door lock actuator here, which is in the rear driver's side door, and it's mounted by 3 screws. It's like right 1, 2, 3. It's actually right here, and then the lock part is right here, and it goes all the way across to here. I was trying to look for it and find out where it was, and I'm like, why in the heck would it be over here? You'd think it would be over here, but no, it goes all the way across to here, then goes through here, and it makes another thing. I mean, the actuator is located in the bottom of the door here, going that direction. And I don't know, I was thinking that maybe it might be this childhood protection lock, pull up to engage. I don't know, you push it this way, push it that way, but it has no effect on it whatsoever. But so the first thing that I done was I went and got my multimeter and put it on. I'll show you how to do this here, but regular digital multimeter, and put it on 20 volts there, like that. And then what I done is I stuck the 2 prongs in this clip here, and I could I'll show how to do that, and I mean how the thing actually connects there. But anyway, the first thing I did is I wanted to check to see if I had voltage here, to see what the voltage was. And when I first checked it, the voltage was 10.3 volts, and it works when you and so I got this thing here. I got this this long thing that I've been using, but I open a door over here and I stick my arm through the driver's side door and hit the switch, just so I don't have to go over there. And but it works with but anyway, here I'll press it once, and at first I was getting 10.3 volts, but then I checked the grounds and then the positive side, and then I was getting a 1 volt low. I wasn't getting a full 12 volts. So I was, so I'm like thinking maybe it was that, but it wasn't that. But I checked the grounds and I cleaned the grounds off, and I gained about 1.5 volts. So I did some good, but it still didn't work. you know, the actuator, because I swapped them from one side to the other to find out if it was good or not, you know. So, but anyway, here, I'll press the thing, and here you can see what the voltage is here. And you don't need to ground it out or anything. Just stick the meter in there. I mean, stick the prongs in there. There's 2 places. So there's like 11.37 volts, and then here to go the other way. 11.36. And you notice that one is negative side and then one's a positive side, and that's, I guess, how the switch does it. It switches the voltage depending on the location of the switch. So I'll do this once more. So 11.4 volts. And I don't know why it increases in voltage when the longer you press it. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that, and I'll show you where I did the grounds next. But well, I suppose I can probably just, well, I'll do that a little bit later. But anyway, I got this book. I read the book. I had the book before. But so I forgot my little associate here helping me work. But anyway, here, this is the actuator. Here, I just got it sitting here, but I'll show you how it goes in later. But here's the actuator hooked up, and I'll test it. You don't need to ground it out or anything. Just, this is connected, by a switch. I'll, show that a little bit later. But I just want to, show you that, how the thing works, just to, so you can actually see it, work once, But it's just the actuator like that. And I stick my arm over here to the door lock thing. It's not so easy doing this, but anyway. So there's the actuator working there, going both ways. So that's how it works, and then it pushes the thing up. It fits in here. Here's where the electrical connection is. There's just a little thing here. You pull it up and pull it up with your fingernail. The little that little thing. This one's pretty easy. Some of them are really tough. I can't believe some of the thing. But the thing is, when you take this thing off, there's this little plastic thing which the steel rod goes in here, and that thing, I guess, is pretty delicate. So what I'd done, you could either maybe just kind of take your finger and kind of pry it off on the one side, here, or stick a little screwdriver in there and pry it off. The plastic's got to come off first. Don't try to get it off without taking this plastic off, because you'll break it. And it's just plastic, so you wouldn't want to break it. It's kind of a safety thing on there, and if it ever comes off while you're driving, well, you have to take your door thing off. But it's not that hard to take this door panel off. There's things on YouTube on how to do that. But here, this actuator, it fits in here like it fits in here, like this, inside of the door. Then the actuator goes back and forth, and then there's a little linkage thing like this on the inside of the door, but it's like this. And then this goes back and forth, and it's actuates a little thing, and it pushes it up, and then it turns this, and then it actuates, it goes So this pushes up here, then it hits this thing. There's a little rod in there. Oh, here, I can show you the steel, just a little. Just a little, you know, a little rod in there like that. You know, so and then it pushes up here, and then it pushes that, and then goes to another rod that goes all the way across underneath the plastic. You know, this stuff, I don't know, be kind of careful when you take the stuff off that kind of really sticky on there. You know, it's really stuck. I suppose that would be good. But anyway, you know, that's that. And so. And then and here's what the book says. It says, you know, I guess I can just read it really quick. It says, power lock system description. A power lock system operates. The door lock actuator is mounted on each door. The system consists of the switches, actuators, a control unit, and associated wiring. Diagnosis can usually be limited to simple checks of the wiring connections and actuators for minor faults that can be easily repaired. Number 2, it says power lock systems are operated by bidirectional solenoids located in the doors. The lock switches have 2 operating positions, lock and unlocked. When activated, the switch sends a ground signal to the door, the lock control unit, to lock or unlock the doors depending on which way the switch is actuated. The control unit reverses polarity to the solenoids, allowing the 2 sides of the circuit to be used alternatively as the feed positive and ground side. 3 says some vehicles may have an anti-theft system incorporated into the power locks. If you are unable to locate the trouble using the following general steps, consult a dealer, service department, or other qualified repair shop. Yeah, right. It says always check the circuit protection first. Some vehicles use a combination of circuit breakers and fuses. I checked the fuses. I couldn't find any fuses. So the relays were working. You know, I couldn't even find anything. But I don't know. But it says operate the door lock switches in both directions. Lock and unlock with the engine off. Listen for the click of the solenoids operating. It says 6. Test the switches for continuity. Remove the switches and have them checked by a dealer, service department, or other qualified. All you have to do is swap. All I did was swap one. I knew that one did not work, you know, on the driver's side door. And so what I did is I took this one off. That was the only way that I can find out if it's the switch or it's the not enough voltage. So I swapped them, and sure enough, the other one did not work, which I'm glad, you know, so this one works, and I took the good one and I put it over there, and it works over there. And the other one still does not work over there. So it's a faulty actuator, and that's what this thing is. And I think I seen it on eBay for like $27, you know. So I mean, you don't want to spend a bunch of money when you don't have to. But anyway, it says remove the switches and have them checked. Okay, check the wiring between the switches, control unit, and solenoids for continuity. Repair the wiring if there's no continuity. And what I did is I went and I looked, you know, and they're these little boot things here. I don't know, I can't, you'd have to really like, you'd have to rip them apart and I mean, I don't know, I mean, but it looks like you'd have to cut them, you know. You know, that says there could be a break in the wires there, which it could be, you know, I mean, but I was getting voltage, so I thought maybe I would check the grounds, and I did, and I gained 1.5 volts after I cleaned all the connections off. I'll show you where those are, but I gained 1.5 volts, you know, because I only had 10.3 before, now I'm getting 11.7, or, you know, something like, you know, pretty close. So I gained, you know, some voltage by cleaning the positive grounds and then the negative grounds, or the positive, you know, side, I mean. But it says, and then if all but one, then check for a bad ground at the switches or the control unit. And so I checked the ground there at the switch. I checked the door ground, and what I done is I took, they say take a good ground. Well, what I do is I get a long wire and put it on the negative side of the battery, and stick in there, bolt or secure it, so it won't fall off, and then disconnect the battery so it's not connected. So if you're going to check for ohms, and don't check for ohms without disconnecting the power source, otherwise you will fry your meter. It'll just go and then it'll be smoke, and then no more meter. Which do is then take it back to the store. Hopefully I had a Craftsman. I did it twice already, and take it back, and they will replace your meter. I mean, I guess they just have a little fuse in there, but yeah, I've done it with 120 volts, checking house voltage and ohms. It just does not work, just not good. So always remember to take the voltage off the system before you check it for continuity in the ohms with the meter. But anyway, what you do is, what I did, I took a long wire, checked it to the negative side of the battery, and then I brought the wire, to the, to the door, and then I, checked it, for good continuity, and the grounds were really good. And then so I just, decided to check it on the positive side, so I went and I checked it on the positive side, and I got a little, a little bit more resistance, and I was like, like wondering, I was like, wow, that doesn't sound. It's like, so the the continuity, but to also disconnect, the battery. But what I did to check the continuity on the positive side is just disconnect the negative side of the battery, and then put your wire on the positive side of the terminal, not really the battery, just the terminal, well, yeah, I suppose it wouldn't matter, as long as the batteries are disconnected, you won't have any power going through it. But what I done is I put the wire just in on the battery terminal, but I disconnected the negative side first, so there's no voltage going through there. So and then I checked it, and I seen there was a lot of resistance in the positive side. So what I done is, the first thing I did is I checked the ground over by the fuse panel, but I'll get to that here in a second. Okay, and then says if all but one lock solenoids operate, remove the trim panel from the affected door and check for voltage at the solenoid. While the lock switch is operated, one of the wires should have voltage in the lock position, the other should have voltage in the unlock position. So I done that already. And then 10, it says if the inoperative solenoid is receiving voltage, replace the solenoid. But it says this in the book. Always read the book first, follow the book, because that's the most. I changed my alternator, took it out of this car with the transaxle, and I spent, like, I swear to God, like, a week. But I mean, I did not want to, it was just a broken wire. I mean, I could not believe that I did all that work and it was just a broken wire. But it says in the book, check the wires first, so that's, lesson learned, but at least I learned how to take it out again on my car, so I suppose nothing ventured, nothing gained, but anyway, if the inoperative solenoid isn't receiving voltage, check the relay for an open or short in the wire between the lock solenoid and the control unit. Note, it's common for wires to break in the portion of the harness between the body and the door opening and closing. The door fatigues and eventually breaks the wires. So that's that's why they say, check there, but how are you going to check that? So what I done was, the first thing I done was I tried to follow the wires, but on this car, I mean, things seem to come apart, you know, pretty easily, but I'll show you the grounds where I was talking about. But so if you follow the wires, I mean, the wires go in the one side. The wires go in here on the driver's side door, and so they go in there. And I seen some videos on YouTube, and it looks like the wires come, you know, through here, and they come through the door jamb here, and then go through down underneath here and through. I mean, I'm not for certain that they go that way, but I'm pretty sure that they do. You'd have to take this off. They probably just snaps apart with a screwdriver, but I didn't do that. But I went and I checked the fuses, and here's where all the fuses are, and I didn't really find any fuse, but it's on. Actually, I did check the fuses. This is the 20 amp breaker. It's the headlights. You know, that's what circuit the things on. I mean the headlights and the power door locks are on the same circuit. So this is the circuit breaker for that. It's the third one, number 3. It's that one, you know, right there. It's a 20 amp. And number 3, but you can undo it and it won't work, you know. But anyway, so, and I was trying to check, you know, for grounds, because, you know, that's the thing that, you know, you should really check for first, you know, the ground. So I was looking at all these wires in here, and I'm like, gee, you know, how am I supposed to, you know, find a problem in there? And so anyway, I went and I checked underneath here. I found one ground. I don't know if you can see it, but right by my finger, there's a ground wire right here. But that, I do believe that's to the instrument panel. Yeah, this is the wire right there. And I cleaned it. There was a lot of corrosion around it, you know, so I cleaned it off, but that did not fix my problem. But there's all kinds of wires in here that, you know, but I didn't mess with that. They all look good, so I didn't want to mess with that, because that just looks pretty complicated there. So anyway, so then I decided that maybe, you know, check, you know, other places, you know, and try and find, you know, a fault. And as, you know, reading the book a little bit more, and they were saying that, you know, there's grounds over here in the engine compartment also, you know. So I went and looked at them, and here's where the fuses are. That, you know, right there. It's, you had to take that stupid air cleaner thing off. I don't know, that thing is, to me, I don't know, a big, huge waste of space. But you gotta take the air cleaner thing off. But that's, I don't know, but that's not too difficult. But anyway, I found that I went and followed the wires, and here's your engine fuse, you know. There's relays in here, and then some more fuses, and this is your engine compartment. I didn't find anything that would work on the power door locks here, but this is where the fuse box is. And then here's you know, the how it is on the fuse panel on the back of the box. But anyway, there's a positive wire. So what I done first is there's a positive side right here. This is the positive side. There's 2 bolts right there. But always disconnect the battery first, you know, before you go messing with any wires, because you can really make a lot of sparks fly just by touching something wrong, you know, with the wrong wrench. You put the wrench and hit the negative side, and you know, and you're gonna sparks flying all over the place. And believe me, a car battery has a lot of amperage, and you know, you do not want to short out the battery at all, because there, I mean, it will, you'll start a car fire in nanosecond. I mean, your car will start on fire immediately, you know. If, I mean, so don't always disconnect the battery before you do work on it. Also, it's always good to do that, because that's also disconnects the airbag system. You know, just disconnect the battery. But okay, so what I done is I went in here and I unscrewed these two bolts, and I took them off, and I cleaned them off with sandpaper, and then I just, you know, screwed both of them back on. And so that was the positive side. And so I went ahead, and also there's also some more grounds here. There's this is the ground to the engine. You know, this is on the side of, you know, where the battery is here. It's just, you know, the wires right there. This is the ground side, and it's always good to clean these off, you know, because I cleaned them. There wasn't any corrosion, not a lot of corrosion, but I found some, not really so much, but maybe a little. I mean, not much corrosion. But so I cleaned, you know, take this screw out, or bolt, screw, whatever, and then that's one ground. You know, here it goes from your negative side of your battery terminal, and then also here, this one comes right directly from your battery terminal. It screws on, you know, right to here. This is the ground. You know, also they have, like, this is, I don't know what this one is, maybe to your electronics, and this one is just for a very solid, you know, ground. They got a huge, you know, bolt on there, so I cleaned that off too. And also, and then there's one more, you know, let's take some sandpaper, unscrew it out and screw it back on. And also there's one more ground. That's for your engine ground, and that bolt is right here. Is that bolt right there, and the one right. No. The one right down there. See it? Right down here, right by your engine. You can see it. It comes right off the it's almost like a direct thing, and that's the ground, you know, for your engine, and it's right there. And so that's the ground for your engine. In the book that said that's where the grounds are, you know. So I cleaned those wires off, and I gained, like, you know, 1.5 volts. And they say never to do this, but because you can get sparks could ignite the hydrogen in the battery. I don't know. They say a battery can explode, but I had one guy say that they had battery explode on them because there's like sulfuric acid in there. It could explode, but it's, they say that's flammable, and that's why they say not to you know, make sparks. Jeez, make sparks around, you know, the battery. But anyway, so there's my PT Cruiser in the garage. Right now I'm working on it, and I'll do some more work on it later. But so hopefully that I wanted to go through some notes that I had here. It says okay, check the positive side, and I lost, okay, clean the ground wires, okay, and then clean grounds, 4 of them, 1 by each fuse panel, and then checked voltage was 11.7 approximately. And then I swapped the actuators to make sure that they work, and you know, I'm really, you know, glad that I, you know, because I went to the car AutoZone and I tried to find out if they knew anything about how much voltage, you know, it needed, and they're like, I said, well, he doesn't know, you know, and so I didn't know either, you know, so because I wasn't sure if it was just because, you know, there wasn't enough voltage, but evidently that wasn't the problem, because obviously now I realize what the problem was, you know, so so if your power door locks don't work, I hope that maybe this video has helped you, and I'm sure it has, and hope you check my videos out, you know, sometime later, because I've been working on this car. I never really thought about making it videos, you know. I mean, who would make a video of this? But you know, I suppose, you know, I've checked a lot of videos out. When I work on this car, I see that, you know, there's so much very popular car, and you know, there's a lot of people who have, you know, working on the car, you know, and it's like, why do you take it to an auto shop when you don't have to? You know, I mean, it's like, you know, I mean, you buy the part on eBay, you know, it saves you a lot of money, you know, unless you don't want to work on it and you just rather pay somebody to fix it, you know, that's your choice. But anyway, I hope this video has helped you, and I don't know, you can check out my YouTube channel. It's Donald Derwent channel. I have a bunch of airplanes. I'm a pilot, you know, also, you know, like private pilot, like 500 hours, you know, but I go to Oshkosh. I just love airplanes, you know, and they're kind of cool, you know, maybe check out maybe some of the airplanes, and but anyway, and but anyway, I hope this video has helped you, and well, I'll see you later, and hope it did you some good. Okay, bye.